Hi, I'm Jupiter, and I'm preparing for a 5,300 mile hike of the Pacific Crest Trail. Not once, but twice, starting at the Mexican border, going up through California, Oregon, Washington to the Canadian border, then all the way back down the same way I came to Mexico again. So this is what I eat in 3 days, just about 2.5 days. Some people were asking, and I thought, like, hey, that actually seems like it might be interesting for the majority of people to see too. So we'll just start off with this is something little I do with my box. So as I'm spreading out all my boxes and constructing them, I just write where it's going. Drake's Bad. This is just for me, like the post office doesn't see any of that. Drake's Bad. This is how many miles to the next town, 76. And this is how many days I'm going to do that 76 miles, and roughly how many miles per day I have to average, which is less important, but you know. And this is the 6th box that I'm sending. So this is going to Drake's Bad, and this just happens to be a box that gets some brand new, fresh shoes. I send shoes to myself roughly every 700 miles. I've had friends that have gotten well over 1,000 miles out of their shoes, and I also have friends that replace their shoes every 300 miles. I think your mileage may vary. Oh. Alright, yeah.
I need some sound effects.
I'm also sending myself some socks to this box. You know, some fresh new socks. I like to get socks a little bit more frequently than the shoes, depending. These are just cheap, thin, nylon Walmart dress socks. So they go bad pretty quick, but they're also super, super, super cheap. So I can replace them pretty frequently and get fresh new ones. Now, all of this is sort of pre-planned out. I'm a total nerd, and I make all these like spreadsheets. This is like the spreadsheet of basically what I eat in a day, how many calories that equals out to, just so I know that I'm getting everything I feel I need. And it's easier for me to plan out what I need to buy, you know, to be able to make this happen. This is where all the boxes are going, and, you know, the miles between and how many days that's going to take me, and addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff. I usually take the spreadsheet of, like, my itinerary, and I'll stick that in the box too. You know, one every so many 100 miles, just so I can kind of keep aware of what I'm doing and what I need to be doing. You know, so in this one, a fresh new tube of toothpaste, some little miscellaneous things. Hopefully hopefully something I don't really need to use ever, but it's good to, you know, just preemptively send myself extra Advil and a couple of vitamins. I just happened to have them at home and thought, why not? I personally like doing these boxes because I feel it really keeps me on track. You know, I know via that spreadsheet that I have this many miles to my next box, and it just keeps me aware of what I need to be doing. You know, and when I get into town, I don't have to think about, like, going to the grocery store and how many days of food do I need at that grocery store, what is going to consist of that. It's just, for me, it's more of a headache, and I just like to pick up my box, dump it in my pack, and disappear, you know, back onto the trail, back into the woods again. So boxes, an A+ for me, but I think for the vast majority of the people, you probably don't want to do any of this, but you know, I like it. Anyway, for dinner every single night, I'll be eating beans. These are dehydrated whole pinto beans, and I add like fajita sauce or chili or fajita powder, chili seasoning powder, stuff like that to them to give them a little bit of flavor, because otherwise they are 100% bland, and it's not very good that way. I also add, this is an 8-ounce bottle. It looks like apple juice, and at one point there was apple juice in here, but right now it's olive oil. So I do about 1 ounce of olive oil per night, and that's a really good way to get like some healthy fats and you know, just extra calories in you. You know, extra calories. You don't want to drink you don't want to be consuming too much olive oil, because that will give you a lot of negative side effects. But 1 ounce a day is not so bad. In every race I've ever run in, all the aid stations have these little Gatorade energy chews. And you can just take them out of the package and put them in. But I just happen to love them. You know, it was when you're pushing yourself in a race and you just don't really feel like eating anything, these were still delicious. And that's stuff I want in my box. I want it to be stuff I actually want to eat. That comes well before any nutritional value. I want to have stuff that when I'm hot, when I'm sweaty, when I'm tired, I still want to eat it, you know? So nice like candy, sugary things, yeah, you know. I think in the long run, if you're just hiking for absolutely forever, yeah, just eating sugar every day for every meal is going to be pretty bad for you. But since you're only going to be out there for, say, like 3 months to 6 months or less, you know, consuming lesser quality foods is not always the worst thing. That said, Pro Bar does actually have a lot of nutritional value, has a lot of calories, and I like to eat, I don't know, 1 to 2 per day. These Cliff Builder bars, I have one right before I go to sleep. I feel the extra protein helps me build the muscles I need to keep moving, and it's a lot of calories right before bed, which also helps me stay warm. I found out about these little things, Health Warrior Chia Bars, a couple years ago, and just absolutely love them. It's mostly chia seeds held together by something, and there are like large chunks of fruit in it. These are the mangoes, which happen to be my favorite, so I just bought all mango. They also have coconut and like apple cinnamon and stuff. But these are delicious. There's just 100 calories in them. I can stick them in my nice little shoulder pocket and, you know, eat them and enjoy as I walk. Fig bars, you know, Fig Newton type things. Delicious. Nice to get something that tastes like fruit and probably has some fruit in it. Something else, jelly beans. I bought a giant thing of jelly beans, and you know, just again, it's something I know I'll be happy to eat. You know, it's calories I want to get. You always hear about stories of people who go way too nutritious, and then they just they get out there and they realize like they don't want any of this stuff, and that sucks because they've wasted all their money, and yeah, and they're shorting themselves on calories as well. Cliff Bars, I eat about 1 per day, and my favorite is the carrot cake, again, so I bought purely carrot cake. I also like the blueberry, but a lot of those other flavors, like trail mixes and things, aren't really so much for me. Laura Bars, another good one. Luna Bars, probably one of my favorite things ever, just especially the white chocolate macadamia. It's absolutely delicious, and it's almost like a dessert. It's so good. But you'll notice a lot of this stuff is bars, just bar form. It's easy calories that it's things I can eat while I'm walking. So I don't have to necessarily stop. I don't have to boil water. I don't have to do anything extra. You know. Now these are actually vegan jerky. I find them delicious. I have a friend who does not think they're the greatest, but I think they're wonderful. They're really chewy, and it kind of changes things up for me than just straight up eating nothing but bars. This is something new for me this year. I had them on the ECT, and I tried them out there, and I thought they were delicious. And there's a ton of calories in this thing, so I expect I can eat one and be good for a few hours of hiking. These are Green Belly meal bars, and I'm really excited to supplement some of my junk with a little bit of quality. And here's the junkiest of all junk. This is maltodextrin mixed with Gatorade. There's probably 600 calories in each one of these bags, and I mix it with water. This is totally new to me. I just tried it today, but I'm really excited for it. It's almost like, once mixed with water, liquid calories, and I think it's really cool that you can just drink 600 calories and be totally set for however much longer. So I'm going to do about 2 of those per day, and this will also have a lot of electrolytes in it, which should be good through, say, the desert of California, and in general, just a very hot trail and dry trail. So this is roughly what goes into a 3-day or 2.5-day resupply box for me, and along the entire way, it's basically going to be just like that. And I like the schedule and the routine of the same things, because in the end, I know that after I've eaten that one thing of Green Belly meal bars, I'm set for the next 2 hours, and if I eat anything else right after that, no matter how bad I want it, then I'm basically eating into my food for the rest of the day. So things like boxes help me go a little bit faster and kind of keep me on track. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and maybe found it a little bit informational, and yeah, have a nice day.
Everyone's going to ask, how many calories per day are you eating?
Oh yeah, how many calories per day am I eating? About 4,500. I am starting off with about 3,000 because I just know that I'm not going to be as hungry in the beginning, and by the end I'll probably have bumped it up to about 5,500, or in that range. My friend John Zahorian, he likes to eat a lot of calories on trail, so when he gets to town, he isn't just like totally dying of hunger, and he can just kind of subside off his trail food and spend more time on trail, because ultimately, isn't that why we're out here? At least that's why I'm out here. So, thank you.